Slavery in South Africa was outlawed in 1834, but some of the cases that I've covered have opened my eyes, and I realize that human trafficking and slavery is something that has not ended. It has simply gone undercover because humans are being bought and sold on a daily basis, and this is happening every day in, I think, almost every country in the world. Now, today I'm going to be talking about the case of Carel Schoeman. He is an attorney based in Heidelberg, South Africa, and he is accused of buying a 13-year-old child from the mother and using this child as his sex slave. Now, this is going to be hectic. If you are sensitive, give me a like, subscribe, but move on because your mental health matters to me. Now, Carel Schoeman, like I said, he is an attorney, and I believe he is still a practicing attorney in Heidelberg, South Africa. Now, he is accused of a lot of things. He is accused of child abuse. He is accused of human trafficking. He is multiple charges of SA or rape, whatever you want to call it on this platform. And another thing that he is accused of is creating CSAM, right? And we know that a lot of incriminating stuff was allegedly found on his phones. Now, according to Carel, this is his side of the story. He came across the picture of this 13-year-old child who he says is 19, right? He came across her picture on a website known as Sex Trader. Sex Trader is an adult website in South Africa. And Sex Trader has commented on this and has said that they do a very thorough verification process. And perhaps we know that these predators, especially these people who are in charge of the children who advertise them, they are very clever. They make fake documents, we know that, and they use websites such as Sex Trader, which is a perfectly legal operating website, to do their nefarious things. Now, according to Carel's version of events, he went onto the website in September 2024, and he saw the picture of this 19-year-old, and she didn't show her face in the picture. She just had a bikini on, and he booked a session, and then he says he went for the session, and allegedly the two of them just spoke for 2 hours, right? And nothing physical happened. And after that, between September and November 2022, he would book more sessions with her until he got to the point where, according to Carel, he realized that he was in love with her and that he wanted to get her out of the sex trade. So what he did is that he negotiated a plan with the mother of this victim that he had been assaulting, and he said that, you know what, I will buy her out of the trade for 160,000 rand. Now, the mother allegedly accepted the offer, and Carel allegedly made a down payment of 24,000 rand on this human being, and he threw in a car to the mother as though it's some sort of benefit, right? Be like, okay, here's 24,000 rand, and you know what, extra benefit, a car for a human being. Now, according to reports from the state in this case, Carel would allegedly lock this 13-year-old child up in a room without food or water, and that he would sometimes let her out so that she could clean his office. And we also know that he would SA her every day. Every day he would SA her at a flat or sometimes a guest houses in Heidelberg. And we also know that when she refused, one of the charges that he is accused of is that he would pull out his weapon, right? His weapon, and he would point it at her, and he would say, listen, you better do what you are told. I'm going to threaten you to be compliant with me. And these are all things that he is currently being accused of. I'm astonished. I am so astonished. Now, another thing we know is that according to Carel, sometime he became aware that the child was not 19. This is according to his story, right? So according to his story, he went with he tracked down the child's grandmother, and the child's grandmother confirmed that the child was underage. And then after that, he decided to approach a prosecutor, right? And say, like, hey, listen, I'm concerned about this child because she's underage. Now, this is his defense. Now, comment below if you think that this is a credible defense, because we know that one of the guest house owners has come forward and has said that the child looked very young. She had a child's face and she had a child's body. She looked like a very young child. Another thing is that there's a much difference. There is so much difference physically between a 13-year-old and a 19-year-old. And in my own personal opinion, I just don't believe that any rational person could think that a 13-year-old child is 19 or is 16, as his newer story has escalated, that she was of consenting age in South Africa, which is 16. And yeah, that is his defense. And then he says, based on her appearance and her behavior and her looks and her interactions, he thought that she was 19 years old, right? And allegedly after he rescued her from the sex trade, he made her do a lie detector test. And only on this lie detector test, when she showed that there was deception about her being 13 years old, did he panic and go out and verify her age. Now, firstly, that is weird. Who takes a, someone that you have rescued from the sex trade for a lie detector test? Like, this story is just, this defense is just bizarre to me. Another thing is that he approached a prosecutor in the state, and said, he apparently went to her office and he started telling the story. And the prosecutor said to him, well, your story is all over the place. Get your facts in line, write a statement, send it to me, which he allegedly did, and then he was subsequently arrested. One of the children, because the 13-year-old was not the only victim in this case, right? So one of the children, they had confined in a relative. And I do believe, according to my information, that there was an advocacy group that was helping out at the time. And I think, in my own personal opinion, Cole knew that, the gig was up. And I think he decided to be proactive about it. And that is why his defense is what it is. Now, Cole is still currently standing trial. I will be updating this case. And we know that he was standing trial. His trial began last year in 2024 and carried on into January. But halfway during the trial, one of his advocates quit, and he had to find a new advocate. And this is why this trial was split, but it is still ongoing. And like I said, I will be following what happens with Cole. But now I just want to talk about this mother. So this mother cannot even be referred to as a mother. I'm going to refer to her as an incubator, because that's all she did. Now, this mother allegedly exposed her eldest daughter, the 13-year-old in this case, to prostitution since birth. Now, please do not go and find the mother's identity. Do not comment below on the mother's identity, because we have to protect the children in this case. No one, right? The reason that we protect the mother's identity is because if you find her on social media, if you know her identity, you can identify those children just by the close relationship with her. So we don't want to harm victims on this platform. We want to protect them. So please don't go and look for the mother's identity, because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about her right here. So she is a 38-year-old woman, and she allegedly was a sex worker herself, an adult worker. And she's the co-accused in this case, co-accused with Carel Schoeman. She is facing 72 charges, and these include SA or rape, human trafficking, exploitation of children, child abuse. And we know that this woman, she was involved in the adult trade herself, and she put her daughters into the trade. She put an 11-year-old and her 13-year-old daughter into the sex trade, and she would go around to different guest houses and flats in Springs, Heidelberg, Boksburg, Brakpan. She would go around all these places, and she would book rooms, a couple of rooms, and she would book her children, her 11 and 13-year-old children. She would book 10 sessions a day, which is absolutely horrific. And she would sometimes allegedly participate herself with her children, as well as, perhaps have them together. It is absolutely disgusting what is happening here. And like I said, you cannot call this woman a mother. She is simply an incubator. Now, we know that she would travel with her children, and she has 4 children in total, right? And they are 2 much younger children. And we know that she didn't even register the birth of her 2 younger children with Home Affairs. The 2 younger children, I don't believe they went to school. We know that the 13-year-old had a grade 4 education and that the 11-year-old had a grade 2 education. So the mother had taken them out of school, another way to further destroy their futures by not educating them so that other people can't be involved and realize that something is wrong. We know that when she appeared in court the one day, she had a Bible and she was crying. Her behavior in court hasn't been exactly the best. And unlike Cole was released on 30,000 Rand bail. Unlike Cole, she did not get bail, and she was been staying in a very famous prison in Johannesburg known as Sun City Prison. It's actually Johannesburg jail. And we know that she has been staying there. We also know that she found love while she was staying in the jail, that halfway through the trial, she tried to get bail again because her fiance, who she met in jail, was released, and she wanted to go and spend time with the fiance to be listed the fiance's house as her address. Now, we know that this mother would try and convince the children that in order for them to have money, in order for them to get spending money, that they would have to, have relations with 10 different men a day or 10 different sessions a day. And this is heartbreaking. This is absolutely heartbreaking, because we know that these children, they are not okay. They are very traumatized. They have been put through so much, so much, and they haven't had a chance to deal with everything that's happened, right? Because there's no closure on the case yet. This case has been dragging on. This all happened in September 2022. We're now sitting in August 2025. This case has been dragging on for almost 3 years, and these children have not been able to deal with what has been happened to him. They are traumatized. These children are absolutely traumatized. And this mother, she is a character. She allegedly tried, this mother's a character, when everything came out, she went onto social media and she made a post that said, I did the crime, I guess time to do the time now. And another thing that she did is that she posted a lot of things on social media saying that she made a mistake, that children do not come with a handbook. No one tells you how to raise children. But one thing I will tell you is that a mistake, right? A mistake is, accidentally bumping another car or spilling a cup of coffee. It is not trafficking your children. That is not a mistake. That is a crime.